Hey, man.
Hey, how you doing?
We always joke around that it's like Friday, it's late, we're tired, whatever it is. I did not sleep well last night, so I'm going to immediately apologize to everyone who's listening. Whether I'm good or not for the rest of the episode is yet to be determined.
But you have to be, because it's Good Friday.
I didn't even know it was Good Friday because it's Passover for us, where we like weirdly eat more matzah than need be. Like I'm like, it's the middle of the day. I'm like, I should have lunch, and then I was like, I never eat lunch, and it's not like I didn't eat breakfast. It's weird. It's a weird time. Everything's weird. Everything is weird.
Yes, it absolutely is. Did you catch the chart that Jay McBain put up on social media in the last couple of days?
No.
It's a really weird dynamic because it shows that MSPs are expecting revenue to go up in Q1, or to have gone up in Q1 at this point.
Right.
And profit to actually go down. It's a little scary, and I'm interested in what kind of is contributing to that, probably for a future episode.
Okay. Well, then stay tuned. Bend it near.
At this point, you've probably already heard about Blumera and their SIM designed for MSPs. What you might not be aware of is their new MSP partner program. It features sales and product training, marketing support, lead sharing program, flat rate pricing, bonus rebates, no annual contracts, and of course, a free NFR license for the MSP. It's great security with great support designed to help MSPs grow their business. Learn more at atmsp.link/Blumera. Let's be honest, tracking Microsoft 365 licenses and Azure consumption manually is a profit killer. If you're still using spreadsheets to reconcile your billing, you're likely leaving money on the table every single month. That's where Sync 365 comes in. No more missed renewals, no more oops on prorated charges, and zero manual data entry. Sync 365 captures those mid-month changes automatically, ensuring your margins stay exactly where they belong. Stop the billing chaos and start recovering that lost revenue today. Head over to atmsp.link/sync 365 to get started. That's atmsp.link/SYNC 365.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the All Things MSP Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Esgar, and with me, his beard is still in onboarding, Mr. Eric Anthony.
Wouldn't it be offboarding at this point?
Because you got rid of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, you restarted it. Maybe it's coming back for a second tenure.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We'll see what happens. You know what? You heard it here first, folks, because come November when we start recording and Scruffy McScruffington comes back, we'll be like, hey, remember that episode back in April? I had to go look to see what month it is. I should know what month it is. But like, hey, remember that episode back in April where I made fun of your beard not being there? And you were like, no, it's offboarded. And now it's back. Yeah, second tier.
Yeah, well, the boss of bosses has said it's not going to reappear. So,
No. She'll just shave it in the middle of the night.
By the way, she will be joining me at ACES.
That's awesome. If you didn't know, acesconf.com, ACES conference is the only fully business conference for MSPs. Acesconf.com happening May 12th and 13th in Minneapolis. I'll be there because, I'm the host.
Well, I look forward to it.
You know who else will be there? We locked up you and Uncle Marv from Business IT Com and Jamie the Cyber Pig. We're doing Podcast Row. I'm super excited. It'll be a fun time.
Marvin and I have been known to have some fun before.
Does the boss of bosses know that?
Not that kind of fun.
Noted. Let's talk about today, though. Speaking of boss of bosses, I think this is a good transition, right? Because I get in trouble a lot also with my boss when they say something versus something that they mean.
All the time.
All the time. And if you don't understand that reference, you're not married. But I do want to bring it to like what clients say, because this has been something, it comes up a lot in our industry. we fix something for a customer and then if something breaks or something, similar to it breaks and they come back and they go, I swear I didn't touch anything. And we're like, really? Because yesterday that thing was over there, and now it's not. So clearly somebody touched something. I always love who they want to blame. Oh, it's Susan in accounting. Susan.
Yeah, I used an example in the dumpster fire episode this week of Brenda in marketing.
We really need to start picking on dudes.
Yes.
Joe in HR really needs to get his act together. There's like a laundry list, basically, of key phrases that clients say to us that clearly mean something else.
Yes. What's your favorite?
I thought it was you were the last to touch it. That's a good one, right?
Yeah.
Everything worked before you got here. It's like, I'm sorry that the refrigerator stopped working. I don't do refrigeration. Don't know what updating your computer to the latest, security patch really did for your not smart fridge. Speaking of smart fridges, real quick anecdote. Did you hear that Samsung smart fridges are starting to display ads and people are like annoyed? They were like, I thought the kitchen was going to be the safe space from ads. It's like you bought a refrigerator with a television in it.
Yeah, I had heard something about that.
Yeah, it's crazy. People have to like build pie holes on Raspberry Pi to like block ads. Whatever, I'm off topic. All right, so yeah, everything worked before you came here is a good one. I do get often like we need to save money, and for whatever reason they think cutting IT is like the best solution. And I understand when we're cutting like devices that have been sitting in their system for a while because they just have them in a drawer, maybe they were going to redeploy them and we never checked them out. That's fair. But when they come back and they're like, we need to cut so much stuff, and I'm like, don't cut IT, cut from other places, because if you cut from IT, you're just going to open yourself up for problems. And they're like, we don't care, cut it or we're cutting you, that kind of bullshit.
Well, and the first thing to cut is usually the first thing that they think they can cut is security.
Oh, all the time. It's weird, that dichotomy between protection and money. It is very mafioso.
A little bit. Another one, speaking of cutting costs, is a lot of times they'll say that they're hiring a new IT person internally. And I think whenever an MSP hears that, it's like your life is about to get significantly harder.
Yeah, like, okay, no, or like you're going to be fired in the next 2 weeks.
Well, that too.
Yeah. I've had times where clients said to me that they're bringing in a new IT person, like they're bringing on in-house. And I'm like, why? They're like, because we want to be able to control it better. I'm like, you realize that like you can't, this is what I don't understand about the whole, like we're bringing it in-house thing is I have a team of 11 and what you're paying us is already less than what you would pay a full-time one person, not to mention all the tools. But then that person comes in and they just plow through everything and screw everything up. And I always have to, I feel like it's part of me. I want to tell the customer like, look, your new IT guy screwed the pooch. But at the same time, it does feel like I'm begging for us to keep our position there and get that guy fired. So that's another weird like balancing act. The only thing I could ever say is like, if you ever get fired because I brought an in-house IT guy, just every 3 months, email your point of contact and just be like, I'm just checking in, because you never know.
Yeah, because I know MSPs who literally look at this as, wow, I'm about to get a lot more project work from these people.
Yeah, that's the other side of it, right? Like they totally could work out in your favor. I had a client who brought in an IT person. I told them not to. They have internally. They brought in like another level person. I was like, you don't need this person. Like we can do it for you. They were like, no, we're doing it. They brought him in. They fired him after like a month. And now all the work that person was doing is now coming to us. And now I'm getting that project work. And I was like, we could have saved you a month. Could have gotten this done last month. But, whatever. I think that's just the human part of like, I need to like see this for myself. Right.
Yeah.
Like you and I have been around the block on this, and as most of our listeners have as well, to be able to tell a customer, like, we've seen this situation, just trust us. But the clients never do, and the clients need to trip over their own feet to have it, like, it's got to hurt them first directly, right? They can't be hurt indirectly for them to realize, oh, maybe the MSP is the right people for the job.
Unfortunately, that is very true. And one of the perfect examples of that is when they ask you to give them admin access, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because that is quite frequently the easiest place for them to really screw things up and cost a lot of money to get it back to where it was when the MSP was managing it.
They always, they want global admin access to the Microsoft 365 tenant. And then, that's the sound of something hitting a fan.
Yeah, I got the sound effect was accurate there.
Thanks.
That's all I'll say.
I like, I've gotten ones where, I guess maybe because clients don't know what they don't know, which is why we all have jobs in the first place. But when a client will email me. Even my mom does this though. Like, my email got hacked because they got some weird email, or they're on their phone and some website got breached and they get redirected to a site where there's like a pop-up that says like, your iPhone has a virus. No. Or do you remember there was a name for it. It was like the porn exploit, whatever it was. And it was like an email that was going around, and it was like, hey, Eric, I see what you've been looking at on the internet, and I turned on your camera and I have video of you. And if you don't send me 496 Bitcoin to this random old wallet, I'm going to release that video of you on the internet. Do you know how many people came to me and like, they were so embarrassed? Like, I had one, he's not a client anymore. I'm totally blowing this person's up, but he came to me. He's like, Justin. And I was like, well, I was in his office. This is years ago. And I was like, what? He's like, come here. And then he like whispered, he's pointing to his phone. He's pointing to the email. He's like, is this true? Is this really true? And I was like, no, and ew. Because now I know something about you that I do not want to know.
Right, exactly.
But my email is hacked one is always just like, no, it's a suspicious email. Which I think the email is hacked one is a weird one, right? Because if they got the suspicious email, that means something is broken in the spam filter that I am managing for them. So how did they even get it in the first place?
Maybe not. Like, so I'm actually going through this right now.
Why? Did your email get hacked?
No.
Oh.
The very opposite, actually. It's along the lines of what you're talking about. I received an email from a YouTube influencer that I follow, and I'm on their mailing list, right? So I get an email from them. I didn't even read it before I got the second email from them saying that, please ignore and delete this recent email. It did not come from us. But then me being me went and looked at the email, and I mean, all the indicators are there that this is a fake email, right?
It said penis in the email.
No, it doesn't link back to the actual website of the influencer. The email address, however, looks the same. So it does look like their email somehow got hacked. But quite often those suspicious emails, if they're not spam, which you're right, the spammy ones should be caught by the spam filter, but some of them are because somebody else got hacked,
right? Not
necessarily you. Because most of the time, if you get hacked, you're probably not going to know because they've already put rules in place to, move the email replies and such that are coming back from the emails that they sent to the deleted folder or somewhere else where you're not going to see them.
My mom's email got breached, and the only reason I found out was my sister sends me a text message. She's like, hey, did you get the Evite from mom? And I was like, what? No. And she's like, yeah, she's having some party and I got an Evite. And then like 5 minutes. So I text my mom, I'm like, do you send an Evite and not invite me? Like, how dare you? She's like, I didn't send an Evite. And immediately she said, I didn't send an email. I was like, whoa. Stop. Everybody stop. Put down what you're doing and walk the F away. And I had to go into it. Somehow they got into her email. They sent an Evite. It actually still listed in her sent mail to everyone in her contact. She's like, should I send an email to everybody letting them know that I got breached? I was like, there's 1,000 people in your thing. No, you're already in enough trouble. Like, let it go. Let's change your password. And then I told my sister, I go, did you click it? She goes, yeah. And I go, did you do anything? She's like, no, because I didn't feel like going to that party anyway. I was like, that's a different problem altogether.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah, the email one's rough. You know, I feel like everyone who's listening has this kind of ingrained in their brain that if they're getting an email from something that looks fishy, we know to like not click the link and go to the URL, right? Like I got a weird email from Stripe a couple weeks ago, whatever. And it was like, oh, we're missing a piece of tax information. Click this link to go to the tax information. Now it's a really specific email and it was formatted well. And I was like, that seems weird because I feel like I would have known earlier if it was missing tax information. I've been being paid through Stripe for years. So I just went to the Stripe website, looked around, didn't see anything. And then I was like, you know what, let me just check this out. And so I clicked on the link to see where it brought me. And it brought me to stripe.somewebsite.com, like whatever the middle part was. And I was like, oh, okay. My intuition was correct about this one. But clients, I feel like no matter how much we train clients, they're still just going to click on things. They just want to click. They just want to click.
Yeah. Well, and you know, the funny thing is every once in a while, you'll actually have a legitimate thing like that.
Yeah.
You know, I had a situation where somebody was trying to pay me and, you know, we were getting everything set up through Stripe, but the email for me to join Stripe to put in my information for them did not come from them. It came from their accounting firm. And so the email domain, everything was completely different. So I took it as, you know, not legitimate. And I called them out on it. And I'm like, this is not best practices.
Yeah.
This is causing you friction in your business processes with your vendors. You should revisit this. And they were like, oh, okay.
Another one I get a lot is a client will email about a problem, and to make it seem more important than it is, will immediately just go, everyone in the office is having this problem. And no one in the office is having that problem.
And even on their computer, it's limited to one tab.
Right, or something like that, right? Like everyone in the office is having a problem. So a couple of weeks ago, we had to switch out some networking equipment for a client, and we got a note from one of the people saying like, everyone in the office is having a problem with VPN. And so I messaged the owner and I was like, is everyone having a problem with this? He's like, no, it's just that person. And I'm like, cool. So the owner thinks it's just that one person. That one person says it's everyone. Turns out it was that person and one other person in a 20-person office. So both were wrong.
Yeah. Well,
in this case, it wasn't everyone. It wasn't just that one. Yeah.
I'll do you one better. They call me. They say the network's down. I'm like, okay, did anything change? No, nothing changed. So I try and, you know, remote in. I can't remote in because obviously it's not connected to the internet.
The network's down, yeah.
So, you know, I got to go out there. I go out there. I take a look and I'm like, you used to be in that office. And she's like, yeah, I just moved my computer to my new office. Well, then something changed. And so I looked and the network cable was plugged in, but there was no patch cable
right on the other
for
side.
That outlet going to the switch. And I'm like, yeah, it did change something.
Yeah.
That's
kind of on you, though. That's on you. I'm going to blame you because when I do networking, I make sure, I don't care if the port is empty. I will put, if I have the option, triplicate ports in all stations, and I make sure they're all lit no matter what. I will buy somebody 4 48 port switches for a 20-person office. I'm exaggerating. But just that way, all the ports are lit. Because in situations like that where people want to just move around, not tell us, what happens all of the time, I'm not going to be the one responsible to be like, your network's down. Oh, I have to go fix something in the back. No, all ports always lit all the time. And if you don't do it that way, you're doing yourself a disservice. I get your point, though. I get your point. I'm not
You're
trying to
not wrong. You're not wrong.
No,
You're
I
not
know.
wrong.
I know. But you're like, I get it. Like, nothing's changed. You physically moved cubicles.
Right.
I don't understand why clients don't understand the concept of change, because they really think when we say, like, did anything change? In their head, they want to think from an IT perspective, right? Oh, no, my computer didn't update. My software is still the same. Everything's still the same. But they forget about the physical parts of change, like moving desks, or like I switched from a desktop to a laptop or whatever. I got married. That's another one where their email changes and no one told us or whatever, or they need to change their name, something like that. It's just stupid. These things. These people don't know what change means.
Yeah, true enough. Another one that I used to get a lot was in my QBRs. People would go, I would recommend something and they're like, oh, can we just revisit that next quarter? And I'm like, no. Security is a thing.
Yeah.
We need to address this now. Even if you don't want to pay for it now, we need to budget it, or as quickly as we can.
Yeah. Again, though, comes down to like the argument that we have to have with customers about price, like value of security versus risk of security. Yeah. Like we have a 24/7 SOC that we work with, right? And I have it in 2 customers right now. I have 2 other customers that would be prime for this because of the type of work they're doing. And I'm like, yo, you need this. And they're like, we don't want that. And I'm like, you don't have this. You're in trouble. You're going to get in trouble. Like something's going to break and you're going to come to me in the middle of the night and I'm going to be like, I'm not helping you because you should have done this. Like, yeah. There's this thing between like, if there was an option, let me ask you a question. If there was an option to have a premium level seatbelt in your car and you had to pay $10 a month for it to work, it'll guarantee save your life no matter how terrible the accident. Right? It's a mystical, we're talking about mystical magical forces here, right?
Right.
Wouldn't you pay that?
You would think. I mean, they pay for insurance, right?
Well, that's federally mandated. You legally can't drive without insurance. They made that a governmental mandate. In
the car example, correct. Although it's not mandated to protect yourself. In a lot of states, it is only mandated that you carry insurance, liability insurance, not your own medical insurance.
Oh, I got you. Fine. But my point, though, is that like for the $10 to pay for this premium magical seatbelt, you protect yourself, everyone else in the car, whatever. It makes no sense that like at a $10 or $15 per month item for a computer to be protected, that clients are still questioning it. And like, I understand if you have 50 computers, that adds up pretty quick, right? Because like 10 times 50 times 12 is $6,000. But you're paying $500 a month, $6,000 a year to like add bajillions of dollars of security on top of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so silly.
But that's the classic of, when we used to talk to people about, the cost of downtime.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's very hard to sell, the cost of downtime as a real risk, even though it is.
I'll tell you about downtime when someone's like, everything's slow. Oh, I hate that one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because it doesn't mean anything ever. And it's all subjective. And it's all like, and because the client doesn't know, like the program's running slow. Well, it has nothing to do with the program. It has to do with the fact that you're on Wi-Fi and you're trying to download a big file from, the cloud or whatever it is. like in a on Boingo Boingo at the airport.
But how many new computers did we sell to business owners because they thought, it was their computer being slow and not bad Wi-Fi?
Sure, in the late 90s, early 2000s, yeah. But when we're talking about like modern day computer, like I honestly don't believe that I never need to sell another computer ever again, because modern day Apple computers are ridiculously fast. You get an M5 computer, and I said this about the M1s, and the M1s are not slow. They're just aging in terms of ability for other things. But you can still run an M1 from 2020, which is 6 years old, and do everything you need to do cloud-based without a problem. And it's going to be fast. It is going to be fast. It is only slow in your mind.
I am doing this live stream right now and edit this podcast on an M1. Well, it's an M1 Pro, but still.
But that's my point, right? So like the system is slow thing, again, comes down to, and maybe this is just like why we do what we do, where clients still cannot understand the difference between it's the computer being slow, it's the internet being slow, it's the service provider being slow. No matter what it is, because it's all quote unquote technology.
Right.
And yes, all technology is in our purview, including the smart refrigerator that's running slow. The system is slow. I mean, it's just, oh my God, it kills me. I had a client years ago who was like, my computer is so slow. I don't know why it's always slow. And I'm like, all right, let me take a look. And so I get on his computer. Things seem fine. And I'm like, everything seems fine. What's slow? And he goes, this. And he shows me that he's trying to open up this file off the server. This is back when we had like local file servers, because we have big files,
right?
And he's loading it, and he's like, see, it's taking like forever for this file to load. It should be way faster. I'm like, okay, so let's break this down. Not everything is slow. This one file is slow. Well, I mean, I guess. But like, it's everything else that's related to it. Okay, fine. Stop trying to like add on to it to make it seem like you're right. We've already established you're wrong. Cool. Then I go look at the file, and yeah, the file took a long time to open on this person's computer. So I go, let me just grab this for a second. And I VPN'd into their server. I grab the file. I bring it to my desktop. I disconnect from the VPN because I want to have no connectivity without a problem, just to see what happens. Open up the file, and the file opens lickety split. And then I see in the file, there are 140 invisible layers all linked from other files all over the server. And I'm like, dude, this is why it's slow. You're just shitty at your job.
Well, and that's why they need people like us, right? Is to translate these things. We often act, as translator, detective, problem solver, engineer, all of those different things.
I do feel like there's a lot of us who still act, and I'm taking the role of that for the episode for comedic value more than anything else, but taking the role of that smarter than thou feeling, right? Because like for me to be like, dude, you're just shitty at your job, I have no right to say that. I didn't say that to his face. I mean, just all within my brain. But we can't do that. Like, we have to just be like, no, it's okay. Like, maybe not coddle them all the way, but like, be that translator, like you said, and not be a pretentious piece of work that, decides, hey, maybe I'll start a podcast.
You just gave me a great idea for another episode.
Yeah.
All of the things that we think in our heads but don't say when a client says one of these things.
That's just going to be an episode of you bleeping me for 35 minutes.
Okay, maybe not a great idea.
Like, if anybody wants to listen to the 44 megahertz tone for 30 minutes, we'll just do that episode and Eric will just bleep me the whole time. Look, the fact of the matter is this. Clients will say whatever the clients want to say. It is our job as MSPs to translate that clearly enough and react on the things that are actually important from what they say. It's really easy to be like, yes, I was there yesterday. No, I did not touch the refrigerator. Let me see what's going on. I'm not a plumber, but you need to call one. Like, you can do that nicely and calmly, as opposed to like some people I know, they're just like, that's impossible. I didn't even go near the refrigerator. Like, don't do that. That's a bad idea.
And, you brought up another great point of something that quite frequently they say the opposite of what they mean. And that's when they're prioritizing something. They'll say it's no big deal when it is a big deal. They'll say it's a big deal when it's not a big deal.
Hold on a second. Are we talking about clients or are we talking about your boss?
Clients.
Both. The answer is both.
I know, but, I want to have a, nice dinner tonight.
Eric, everything's fine. Are you sure? Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
It's not fine. Yeah. The prioritization is, I think also that falls on us. Like we as MSPs need to know how to prioritize the problems and how things are being done and who in the ladder needs to be brought in at the right time to ensure that the client as a whole is happy. Because you never want one person in the office to be unhappy because what is it like? One bad egg ruins the bunch. There's some
something like one bad banana, maybe, because it is the word bunch. I don't know.
One bad egg.
He's going to look this up.
One egg. I was right. One bad apple spoils the barrel. It's often misquoted as one bad egg. There you go. One bad apple spoils the barrel, but one bad egg spoils the. It says bunch, but I said brunch. Yeah. Don't let that one person be the best you can be. Be the Army, Navy, one of those things.
And when it's a dumpster fire, tell us it's a dumpster fire.
Tell them it's a dumpster fire. They know. I've gone to a client. I'm like, listen, dude, you see this, right? They're like, I know. I'm like, can we fix this? They're like, please.
Yeah.
That's a good time. You want that because that's good money. It's all about the money. All right. Look, clients are going to say crap. We're going to be smarter than them and translate and help them and tell them ew and no.
I think that is a perfect place to end this today.
Ew, no. Ew, David. All right, let's end it here. Follow us at facebook.com/group/@allthingsmsp. YouTube glory. New lights. youtube.com/@allthingsmsp. Follow, like, subscribe. We're on LinkedIn. Ring a bell. Subscribe. Get notified. Tell Eric you like his new facial expression. You're expressing your face through your lack of beard.
Okay.
That's it. That's Eric. I'm Justin. Bye.
Thank you for listening or watching the All Things MSP podcast. If you liked this episode, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, hit that like button, and consider subscribing to catch all our weekly episodes. And from your host extraordinaire, Justin Esgar, and myself, Eric Anthony, your humble producer and All Things MSP founder, thank you very much for spending your time with us. If you are not aware, All Things MSP started as a Facebook group and now supports over 6,000 members. We also have a LinkedIn page for those of you who don't do Facebook, and make sure to check out our YouTube channel for even more content. A special thank you to our premier sponsors, EasyDmark, GoZinta, and Sync365. And thank you to the rest of our sponsors. Without sponsors, we could not do what we do for the MSP community. Please consider checking them out. The All Things MSP podcast is a BizPow LLC production. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not reflect the thoughts and opinions of any employer, vendor, sponsor, or random taxi driver in the Metro DC area. Be sure to join us next week for another exciting episode.